The Hinterkaifeck Murders. Someone is living in your house, not to steal, not to hide, just to be there. They sleep in your attic, they watch you eat, they listen to your children laugh. They have been there for days, maybe longer. And you can hear them moving at night. You find footprints in the snow that don't belong to anyone in your family. A door you locked yesterday, unlocked this morning. You know, but you don't leave. That decision will cost every soul on this farm their life. Bavaria, Germany, 1922. The farm was called Hinterkaifeck. It sat at the end of a dirt track, roughly 70 kilometers north of Munich. The nearest neighbor was a 40-minute walk through dense woodland. It was, by every measure, the kind of place the world forgot about. 6 people lived there. Andreas Gruber, the patriarch, a man known in the village as difficult, suspicious, and proudly isolated. His wife Cecilia, his widowed daughter Victoria. Her 2 young children, little Cecilia, just 7 years old, and Joseph, only 2, and a maid named Maria. Maria had actually quit her job at the farm the previous winter, spooked, she said, by strange noises in the attic, by the feeling of being watched. She told people in the village no one drove out to check. Now there was a new maid. She had arrived just that morning, March 31st, 1922. In the days before they died, Andreas Gruber had been telling people something was wrong. He found a Munich newspaper on the farm. Nobody had brought a newspaper. He found a strange set of keys, not his. He found footprints in the snow leading from the edge of the forest, all the way to the farmhouse. They led in. They did not lead back out. He heard something moving in the attic at night. He told neighbors. He even went up to check the attic himself. He found nothing, or what he found he chose not to name. Sometime after nightfall, they were lured to the barn one by one. Andreas, his wife, Victoria, the little girl, Cecilia. They were killed with a mattock, a farm tool heavy, blunt, deliberate. Each one as they entered the barn before they could react, before they could run, their bodies were stacked in the hay, covered, hidden in plain sight on their own land. Then the killer went back inside the house. The new maid who had been there only hours was found in her bedroom. The baby Joseph in his crib. They never had a chance to understand what had happened around them. Nobody checked on Hinterkaifeck for days. The mail piled up. Neighbors noticed the Grubers hadn't come to church. A neighbor's boy said the farm's dog had been barking relentlessly for days, then stopped. When a group finally walked out on April the 4th, they found something that has haunted investigators ever since. The cattle had been fed. The fire in the hearth had been lit recently. There were cooked meals. There were signs everywhere of someone moving through the house, living in it, sleeping in it. For 3 days after the murders, someone stayed at Hinterkaifeck, eating the food, tending the animals, moving through the rooms, while 6 bodies lay in the barn beneath the hay. There were suspects, there always are. The neighbor, Lorenz Schlittenbauer, who had fathered Victoria's youngest child, and who was part of the group that discovered the bodies. He knew exactly where to look in that barn. He was seen, some say, moving strangely among the corpses, but nothing could be proven. There was Karl Gabriel, Victoria's husband, declared dead on the Western Front in 1914. But what if he wasn't? What if he came home, broken from the war, to a farm that had moved on without him? Some investigators believed this until the end, but no body, no proof. A ghost theory for a ghost. 107 people were officially interviewed. The case was investigated, shelved, reopened, and shelved again. In 2007 and 2011, forensic teams returned to try again with modern tools. They found nothing new. No one was ever charged. No one was ever named. The footprints led in. They never led back out. And whoever made them, whoever lived among those bodies in the cold German dark, walked out of history as quietly as they had walked in. The most terrifying thing about Hinterkaifeck isn't what happened. It's that someone, somewhere, knew every detail of how it ended and chose to take that knowledge to their grave. So tell me, who do you think did it? Drop your theory below. Like and subscribe. See you next time.